The kick up into handstand is one of the first entries that we'll learn in our long journey. We usually start with the kick up because it is relatively safe, the transfer of weight is simple, it's direct, and it's one of the ones where we can bail out and exit easily even if we don't hit the perfect spot. But getting it right isn't always so simple. We want our legs to come together, we want our shoulders to open, we want everything to happen in the right place and the right time. There's definitely a technique that goes into it, and that's what we're going to go into today. So today we're going to learn the different phases of the handstand kick up. Now with the kick up, it can be very tricky because it's a difficult one to practice, especially when we don't have any strong foundation yet in handstand. Sometimes beginners will just kick up non-stop, and it will just depend on luck in order to hit that perfect spot in the right place, the right time. And then they feel like they have something just to try it again the next time and fail. With the kick up, you want to have a very systematic approach. That way you can track your progress and you can also know what went wrong so that you can adjust for the next rep. That way we can have consistent entries, and when we have consistent entries, the holds present themselves a lot easier. So let's begin. So the first step, phase one, would be to either start standing or putting your hands on the floor to start the kick up. I like to start standing because it gives me a little bit more momentum that I need and I will use for the entry to be easier. If my hands are already planted on the floor, my hands and my upper body might be too heavy, and when I kick up, my legs have to be in perfect position in order to find that straight alignment, that hold that we're looking for. So I like to have a little bit more of a head start, but whatever version you do, it's up to you. The theory is the same. The first phase, we just want to warm up with our legs slightly leaving the floor, going in the air, having that sensation of hands heavy, legs in the air, just for a brief moment, and demonstrating good technique while at it. So let's begin. I'm going to start standing. Now, notice my legs, one is forward, one is back. The one in the back is going to basically carry my weight up. And while the one in front, that leg is going to bend and propel me kicking up and extending me up into the air. So watch. Hands to the floor, leg bend, this leg stays straight, and kick and come back down. Notice when I come back, my legs are now switched because when I was in the air, I switched my legs and I landed. So again, I'm going to do the different side this time. This time, my right leg, the one in front, is going to bend, and the left leg, the one in the back, is going to extend up. It's going to stay straight the entire time. I'm not aiming to go all the way up to 12 o'clock. I'm just aiming to leave the floor just by a little, but having my legs doing their part. So one leg is straight, the other leg is bent, and I'm essentially transferring my weight from my feet to my hands, okay? Notice one leg bends, the other leg straightens, and then the bent leg straightens, and then they're both straight in the air in like almost like a V position, and then switching legs. So hands pushing, front leg is bent like I said. Now it's gonna bend and then extend and straighten. When this happens, both legs go up into like a V shape until it reaches 12 o'clock. And then the hands push the floor away from you and the elbows lock and our eyes gaze directly in the middle between our hands. So it's going to be like this. And we're using the back leg to carry our momentum and inertia up. Okay? Just doing that is pretty tiring for my legs. All right, so I'm going to do it live. Again, hands on the floor, look directly between your hands. Front leg bends and then straightens. It creates a momentum, both legs in the air, arms still extending, still pushing. Okay? Bend, straight. Create the lightness here. Okay? Again. Bend, straight. Create the lightness. Okay? Use the back leg, carry yourself up. Second leg joins. Come back down. Back leg goes up. Second leg joins. Lightness. And come down. So I'm just getting used to the weight on my hands. I'm not aiming to go all the way up. Just hop a little bit. When I'm doing this, I'm extending from my shoulders. My shoulders are pushing tall. My legs are going up. I want my body to be very long. Okay, so that is phase one. Just lifting our legs off the floor by a little bit, having one leg straight, the other leg bend, and then when you're up, both legs straightens. Meanwhile, shoulders are extending, and we're looking down right between our hands on the floor. Let's move on to phase two. In phase two, we want to go even higher. Now, when we go even higher, when we get more air time, we're essentially stacking our body into balance, but without closing our legs. So now we're trying to create that stack with our shoulders and hips while our legs are moving in the air. The more air time we have, the better the stack and balance will be. Let's try it. Starting off the same way. Now go up, come back down. Okay, so notice that there was more air time than phase one. What was different was my legs were higher, my body was more stacked. I was able to go in front more this way and go higher. The more this happens, the more we're creating balance, even in movement. Okay, let's try that again. And it's important that we switch legs in the air because every time we switch legs, we create that middle. If we don't switch legs, we have a tendency to pike and to bulge our hips forward and then coming back down the same way. So we want an even exchange of weight every single time we go up or down. So it's a switch. Switch. Push legs up, switch very slowly, come back down. And switch. So that's phase two. Air time, leg switching, demonstrating good technique. So now let's move on to phase three. Now keep in mind these phases will take time. I'm doing it pretty quickly because I've been through these phases myself and it took a span of months, maybe even a year. The point is, don't rush it because this video is only this long. Each phase deserves a lot of attention and you don't want to rush a process. Stay with it, be patient, okay? So third phase would be to join our feet together in the 12 o'clock position just for 1 second. That way we're not burdening ourselves with the hold. A lot of people will want to go up and hold 5 seconds, 10, 30, and those are great goals, right? We want to have those time in our belt. But in the beginning, we also want to be able to find that place easily. If we can do 1 second in straight line, 12 to 6, good alignment, We can do that consistently 10 out of 10 times. If we want to extend that 1 second further into, let's say, 3 seconds or 5, it would not be that much harder. Of course, it takes practice. It's not going to be automatic, but you guys know what I mean. However, if we try to hold 10 seconds right off the bat, we might get lucky once in a while, but it's not going to be very consistent. So what we're trying to do is build good habits so that when we go up, we don't have to think about it. We land at that place at the same time, and we can start our holding process from that point on. But it begins with good habits, and this is where we're building it. Okay? So legs together, 1 second. Again, technique should be the same. One leg's bending and then straightening after we go up. The other leg stays straight and carrying our whole body into that position. Very important for our back leg, the one for my right leg, this one, to bring me to 12 o'clock. And then my second leg joins it after. It doesn't matter which leg because I'm going to switch sides, but the front leg, the one that's bending, always joins the first leg at 12 o'clock. So you kind of want to search for that alignment with your straight and back leg. You want to think about that, okay? 1 second. Now in the beginning, it's okay if you don't go directly to 12 o'clock. You might end up at 11 or 10. It's okay. But the more you do it, the easier it will be to find that place. 1. So just a tap. 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 Focus on the technique. Tap. Legs are straight, toes are pointed, arms are straight. Tap. Look down to the floor. Tap. Tap and hold. See, if I can tap multiple times consistently, the hold is just going to be there. Build good habits. As my lead leg goes up, finds 12 o'clock, my secondary leg joins my lead leg, and there I am in a handstand perfectly straight. Let's look at that one more time. Start standing, hands on the floor, push, lead leg goes up, 12 o'clock stops right there, secondary leg just finds the lead leg, and there I am once again. Look at it in real time. First leg, 12, second leg up, shoulders extended, and coming back down. There's definitely a system to it. It's progressive. It finds a target and it hits it every single time. So after phase 3, now you should have a pretty good idea how to go up and down and start holding consistently. You should have the confidence and the body awareness and muscle memory for you to go up without too much thinking, too much fear, hold for a few seconds, maybe even 10, and come back down on your own will and control. The key of the kick up is to have a very, very systematic way of training. We do not want to gamble and go up and hope for the best. We want to know exactly where our legs are doing, what our shoulders are doing, and where our body is ending up in that good alignment. It doesn't matter if your alignment is a little bit off in the beginning, because once we develop that control over time, you can start modifying your line little by little. But if we don't have anything yet, we can't even go up and hold, how can we perfect the line and the alignment? So the key is to get rid of ourselves of fear, build confidence, and establish good technique. This is the best way to go about training handstand techniques, no matter what level. If it's the kick up, press up, one arm handstand, everything progresses in this fashion. We never want to leave it up to luck or by chance. So grow good habits, build technique, and have patience in your journey. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys like my content. As always, if you guys want to support my channel, hit subscribe below. If you have done that already, hit like button on this video. It'll just help me out that much. Thank you guys. As always, see you next time. Bye bye.